So we are talking about elderflower today, and that is elderberry bush. Before they turn to elderberries, there will be these big, beautiful, white blooming heads on them, and these are already starting to turn. Now this one's starting to lose its blooms. So this is probably not a good specimen because it's already starting to lose the blooms, and you're gonna want to get them in full bloom. They are edible, and there's many things you can do with them, just like the elderberries. They are good for you. They are full of antioxidants and things that help with colds and flus and such. You could take that flower head and you could batter that whole flower head, break as much stem off as you can, batter the whole flower head, and fry it up as fritters. You could take off just the flowers and do that, or you can put those in salad or smoothie or whatever you want. Also, you can make a cordial out of the flowers. Now, in driving through my county, you can see these on the sides of the roads and fields everywhere. And they will be huge bushes like this one we have behind our house. Goes all the way from the end of our porch all the way down through. This is in our horse pasture. It is a huge bunch of elderberries. And I'm going to get close up out there, and I'm going to show you here that you can see that all over western Kentucky right now. Some places, I'm sure the elderberries are already fully ripe. Some places are probably not quite this far yet. Okay, so here are some beautiful full heads of elderflower. And you can see they have little clusters all over. The stem is not purple yet. It's got a little bit of pinkish down on there. Yeah, a little bit of pinkish, but not up here at the top. As soon as those flowers start falling off and it starts having little green fruits, it turns purple. Now, this is absolutely wonderful for you, just like elderberries. These flower heads have vitamins and minerals and antioxidants and things that are so good for you. You can make the cordial. You can take it and you can use that in sparkling water and drink it. You could use it in smoothies, along with the raw flower heads here. Same thing. You can fry those up. All different types of things you can do with these we'll talk about. We're going to get a few of these up to the house and go over them. And I'm going to make a cordial. Pay attention to those leaves so you know for sure what you're getting. There are a few flowers that grow on the side of the road this time of year that look similar, but most of those are not bushes. Elderberry is a bush and can even get big enough to be considered a tree. Now, poke has a similar purple look and berries, so you'll want to make sure you don't get poke. There's a lot of differences in this and poke. I will show pictures of poke here. And you can kind of see the differences, especially when it's got the flower heads. It has a totally different flower head and leaves. And you can make sure you're not getting poke by looking at that. This is out in our horse pasture. we have an abundance of them. So we don't really mind using a lot of the flowers, and we will still be able to get plenty of elderberries. There's one with some large green, you will see. And yeah, that won't be too long. Another month, those will be dark purple, very dark purple or almost black, and be ready to pick for elderberries. Personally, we have not used the flower heads before. We've always left them and used the elderberries. We had talked about doing the fritters before, and we never tried it. But I can tell you this, they smell so good. I would just almost love to have a bouquet of this in my house. Now, I'm going to pull all these flowers off, and I have another bag full, and I'm going to pull all these flowers off of these heads and put them in a pint jar and make a cordial. So, here we go. Okay, we're going to go over something right quick that's not going to be popular. A lot of people will tell you not to use the stems of the elderberries. And while that is true, you want as little stem as you possibly can, almost none. But that is mostly the bigger stems. Now look here, I'm going to show you some that you might not be able to avoid. Would be this kind of thing. Well, can't even get a hold of it. It's so tiny. Okay, you see that tiny bit of stem on that flower? That is not going to hurt you. That's a little bit of stem on there. It's not going to kill you. But get as much of it off as you can. You can pick through it and get some of it off. It's almost impossible to get every bit of it off. Now there you go. I pulled that off of there. Fine. But if I can't get every teeny tiny bit of stem out of there, I am not going to be too concerned. Do not wash them. You will just wash them away. It is too hard, and there is nothing in here that's going to hurt you. As long as you shake them off and get most of those big bugs off, you know, and you might have a few little, that's kind of a brownish stuff in there. I'm going to toss that. I don't know what it is. Probably not going to hurt you, but you know, you get out the most that you can and do the best you can. Okay, so I'm back at this, obviously on a different day. I didn't get finished, so I'm finishing up now. I had to go get some more flower heads. And one thing, for whatever reason, that first few I got, I shook them off outside and got any bugs off outside. I brought these in a bag and didn't shake them off good, so I start seeing a few bugs. So, had to go back out, shake them off good outside, because you don't want to wash these, but you do want to get all the little bugs off. I believe I might could get 2 out of this. So that's what we'll do. We'll get another jar and start 2 of these. Okay, so I separated those out in 2 jars, and I have about the right amount there, because you want some head space, plenty of head space there you want left over. I'm gonna make sure I've got those about equal. There we go. Okay, now we can start on our recipe. And now some of this, there was little residue, maybe little pieces that weren't all that great, or a few little bugs left that ended up in the bottom of my pan. I'm just throwing out. So you don't want to empty your pan out into your jar. You want to pick those flowers up that are cleaner and put them in your jar, and then dump the little stuff that's left in your tray. Just saying. And you want to make sure that you have fresh elderflowers. I had started this video a couple of days ago, and I dumped those elderflowers out because they were turning brown. So we have fresh elderflower. I still didn't want to go back and start this video over, so I dumped that out and just started in again. All right, so We are starting our boiling water. We've got 4 cups of hot water over here. I'm going to bring that to a boil and then add my sugar. I'm going to try this with sweetener. I don't want the sugar. I don't have any real lemons in the house right now, so I'm going to use the real lemon juice. But the recipe calls for sugar and lemons, and you can use the lemon zest and the lemons and put them in your water mixture. But I'm going to use liquid lemon juice, and I am going to use a sugar substitute to try to make this sugar-free where I can use it. Okay, so in our hot water, it's just, it got to almost a boil and then I turned it way down. So it's hot enough to melt our, dissolve our ingredients. And we're gonna use, we're gonna use 2 cups of our sweetener. It calls for 4 cups of sugar. We're going to use 2 cups of the sweetener. And we're going to pour it in here and stir that and put in the citric acid. You need some citric acid for this recipe. There's that. This is a very sweet cordial. Oh, let's see. Let me get that dissolving some. And we're going to put 2 tablespoons of citric acid. All right. Okay, now we're going to stir that and get that all dissolved and let that cool down before we go any further. Additionally, this is a cordial made with an alcohol in it, usually vodka. I would think rum would be better, but you could add some alcohol in here to make it an alcohol cordial, which is more traditional. It would be, you would add probably to this 4 cups, you would add, some people say half, like you would add 2 cups of vodka. I would probably do 1 cup, and I would probably do rum. So there you go. If you want a traditional cordial with the alcohol. All right, this is cooled down. I'm fixing to pour this in my jars, fill those up. It's gonna take, I'm gonna have some left. I might try to go pick some more flowers and make another one. Yeah, I believe I could make another one out of that. So I may run out and get enough flowers to make another pint would be about right. And I'm gonna push those down in there good. And stir that around. And then I will lid those, put them in the refrigerator. I'll probably shake them a little bit now and then and leave them overnight, or I'll probably leave mine a couple of days. I'm not in no hurry to drink them, so I will leave them the 48 hours probably, maybe longer. So there you go. I'll, like I said, cover this up and put that in the refrigerator for 48 hours, and then I will strain that out, and it will be ready to use in some club soda, sparkling water, club soda, something like that. Give us a thumbs up, comment, and subscribe, and watch us on Friday nights at 7 p.m. Central Time.